How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining me. Today's project is this John Deere lawn tractor. I think it's a LA130 or 135. And the complaint was that it's making a rhythmic noise from the bottom side anytime they try to put it into gear. And I've already diagnosed this problem. As you can see, probably the deck has already been removed. And so when I come underneath here and take a look, what I have found is that this drive belt right here, the transmission drive belt right here, it actually has a big gouge out of it right there. So the customer did say that his wife was driving it and the belt slipped off, and what I think happened is the belt slipped off and then rubbed away a certain portion of this belt, and from there I assume he said he put the belt back on, but then it was making a rhythmic noise, and what I think happened is that this is now, every time it goes around a pulley, is making a noise. So we're going to replace this belt. I'm going to show you how to replace a belt here on this LA135. Alright, so the belt on this guy goes up around this pulley off the bottom of the crankshaft. It goes all the way to the back here. Sorry, it's really tight under here. Goes all the way to the back to this cooling fan on the transmission shaft. And then back up, runs back up through a series of pulleys right here. And then back up to that front pulley. So first thing we're going to have to do here is to remove this pulley assembly right here. So this guy right here looks like a 5/8 nut, so I'm going to remove that next. Alright, when you move that nut, this whole pulley slides all the way down. You can take that right off. Quite a long bolt. Alright, so that's off the front there now. Now the next thing we're going to have to do, because it does run around, if you could see it right here, hopefully, it does run around the steering column. So what you need to do there is actually take off this bolt, which I've already loosened. I thought I loosened it all the way. Okay. Alright, so you take that bolt off here, or the nut off, and then we'll take that gear off. And then what we gotta do is, sometimes you gotta go from the top side and lift up this steering column. And all we need to do is lift it up high enough that we can slip the belt around it there and there. So now this part of the belt is all the way out. Next, working our way back is these two pulleys, and these guys our 15 millimeter. So I'm just gonna grab an impact and zip those guys off. All right, now with these bolts, or nuts, you actually don't have to take them off all the way. So you only have to take them off part of the way, just enough so that you get a little bit of slack usually, and that should be enough to slide them off the side of the keepers here. Alright, now the last thing is the belt goes around this pulley right here. Now the hardest part, or the longest part of this whole job is this keeper. Let's see if I can get my finger in there. That keeper, that right there at the end of my finger, that is a 15 mil head on that keeper. So what we need to do is use a wrench, get a wrench in here, and basically slowly and surely, this thing's going to take probably 5 minutes. We need to get a wrench on this keeper right here and turn it lefty-loosey. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to take probably 5 minutes, and I'll come back when I get her off. Alright guys, I got her pretty much almost all the way loosened off here. So I can get in there with my hand, and there we go. And that just comes off. Now once we do that, then we can loop it back around this fan, and the whole belt comes right off. Alright guys, so I got a replacement aftermarket belt here for the John Deere. It's a GX, part number GX20006, and this one's made by Stens. So to put this guy on, it's just completely the reverse of what we did. We'll have to try and unwind this belt first, and then try and feed it over the fan and back around the pulley, and then I'll try and get this bolt, retainer bolt, started by hand. Alright guys, so I am slowly but surely getting this back in. Try and go as far as I can with it by hand, because it's a lot faster than an open-ended wrench. So that's pretty much as far as I can get it. And then, sorry guys. And then I'm just going to get my wrench on here and start tightening it until I get it nice and tight. Alright guys, so I got the back pin in, and now we're just going to route this guy. Alright guys, so I'm just going to try and get this guy back up in here. There we go. And then this guy go up through here. This one doesn't want to go back in. It's a lot harder to push it up in there instead of pulling it. So I think I'm going to try and loosen this pulley off a little bit more. Give myself a little more space. There we go. And now I will put those pulleys back tight here in a second. Now what I'm going to try and do is work that steering column up again and get this on the other side of it. There we go. That's all it takes. And then I'm just going to push this guy forward. I'll pull it back through this way. And it's got to go up and on the pulley, the front pulley here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put this on the pulley first. And then put the pulley on the shaft. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to get this guy started by hand. Just so it stays up there. I'm going to get my drive gear placed back on the steering column, which has made its way back out again. Now, when we're setting this back up, I marked the center tooth. There we go. Alright guys, so I got the 2 bolts back on the pulley. I got my nut holding my gear on, and got the bolt on the front pulley, and all of the belts. The belt is on all of their respective pulleys properly. And the one thing I forgot to mention, guys, is that before I started this process, I actually set the parking brake, and what that does is it helps to remove some of the tension on this spring here, and it allows for us to kind of move these pulleys a little bit easier and whatnot. So just a little tidbit will help you out. Alright guys, so I think what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to take it for a ride without putting the deck back on, just to test these pulleys, test the tension and all that stuff, and hopefully we've got our problem fixed for our customer.